integrates AI with human-centric practices. I mean, the human is the centerpiece of everything. So my idea is that people will have more quality time, more work around for better quality of life. Like, when we got electricity, our lives improved, our products were improved. I don't expect anything less from that with the AI applications.
Hey Dejan, super keen to have you here today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's still excited with everything you do. So it's also nice to propose some ideas around it because, you have been also one of the reasons I started everything within this journey of mine.
Super keen to have you on. Let's get down to it. You're currently working on a PhD and a study, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
I mean, it started for me. I started really young coding. I was really young back then, and the direction I took was within the master's degree within Liverpool, from the University of Liverpool. It was about IT and kind of direction was AI, machine learning, and AI. The major idea was to look into the algorithms for the real-time data handling. It was back then in 2006, so the technology wasn't advanced as now when it comes to AI. So I had to prove that the idea was to create a system that will give the real-time support for the decision makers. So you can land a decision based on the criteria you choose. After that, I was poised on researching more on AI, on how it will impact everyday work through, for example, IoT stuff, etc. And then I got the chance to be the first generation at MIT for business growth and AI in 2023, where I was presented with awesome ideas, and I got onto the program as a sort of specialization between my master's degree and my doctorate degree. And then it was kind of spark, an eye opener, For that, I started looking into how machine learning and AI can impact the business growth in general, and this kind of gave me few ideas because the MIT studies, the fast steps principles were introduced. It was pretty new from Professor Martinez. It talks about fairness, accountability, safety, transparency, ethics, privacy, and security. So those are kind of way to look at, with a kind of fresh way to look at it. And then it kind of enabled me to understand more, to gain more knowledge on how to proceed. So PhD came as a natural way of doing this. This is from the EIMT in Switzerland, and the focus is on the non-financial performance indicators and stakeholder engagement, and how AI impacts them along with machine learning in order to have a business growth. So
let's dig a little bit deeper into that. Can you briefly introduce me to the innovation topics and explain why examining the impact of machine learning and the non-financial performance indicators is particularly crucial for today's business?
Yeah, I mean, good question for that, and I mean, thank you. the whole idea was actually that everyone in the modern world, in the business world, is always focused on the financial metrics. The results, how you're faring, how much you're gaining, how much money there is. But the thing is, actually, it's always oriented mostly towards the past results. It doesn't capture the entire organizational story and doesn't capture the projection for the sustainability in a long term, how the company or organization can adapt, how to ensure the business remain resilient for everything that's going on. I mean, world is really starting to change more rapidly who would thought, to be honest, but AI brings this to the table. So non-financial performance indicators are like the core of the financial metrics, but although the research is done a lot on them, and also on the stakeholder engagement, I saw a huge gap to research within this area, so to speak, with applying the AI and machine learning, of course. First and foremost, digitalization is one of the things also kind of coming now, etc. So combining machine learning and AI with well-explored areas and applying other frameworks, so you can get a better view, ensure how like ethics or other NFPIs can work, like transparency, where the data is coming from. People are often really kind of resilient or kind of close to the idea of AI. The first thing that comes to mind of an employee is like, oh, it's going to take my job. I mean, pilot studies show that. It's funny, So if you have a transparency, if you have like best practices, if you have the privacy and security explained to the people so they know what's going on, how it's going to work for them. And for me, the major pillar for this research is that it's human-centric. It's based on the STS, is social technical. It's the modernized version because it's been studied since 1981, and it's adopted now by Bas and Michael. And I'm based on that because they took a way modern approach, thinking of the new technologies to be able to develop more as a framework, of course.
People who don't know who he is, could we give just a short explanation?
The model offers more disruptive approach, and it's kind of something new because my humble opinion during my research so far and the whole literature review while I'm doing the PhD is that I haven't found anything similar. Far, fingers crossed, have something new, and hoping it will be a bit of revolution rather than evolution, because it integrates AI with human-centric practices. I mean, the human is the centerpiece of everything. So my idea is that people will have more quality time, more work around for better quality of life. Like, when we got electricity, our lives improved, our products were improved. I don't expect anything less from that with the AI applications. So those practices where the human is a centerpiece with the help of AI is the kind of starting point from the designing phase of every system, of every AI or business model for that matter, because the research is looking at all type of businesses that can use all type of technology regardless. It's a joint optimization of both technological and social systems. So it will ensure that technology generally supports human decision making rather than replaces it. That's the way I see it, and working towards that. I mean, the pilot study showed me that I'm on a good path. I did the qualitative and quantitative part to see how it will progress, to adjust a bit more of the questionnaire and so on. And it showed me actually what I was thinking to research this type of gap.
Many organizations are already using AI, yet your model suggests a deeper social technical integration, right? And
yeah,
what makes your approach more revolutionary than potentially disruptive compared to current frameworks?
It's that's the thing. It's the humanity first, and then with this framework supports you from the start to the end, and with the long-term vision to be sustainable. Simple as that. It just integrates AI seamlessly. I mean, I said like I learned this one while I was studying at Liverpool University, where I was way more technical than I in my thoughts than I was before, and I learned that the technology should support human beings, not the other way around. That's kind of as simple as it gets.
Could you explain a little bit more about that? Like how your framework, especially leveraging like ML and AI to enhance the whole stakeholder engagement and organization trust. That thought it was really interesting, and areas often considering quite challenging to quantify.
The thing is actually the thing I spoke about earlier is the framework that I'm kind of developing. It uses the fast steps principles. Economy for fairness, accountability, safety, transparency, ethics, privacy, and security, and embeds the ethics into the entire AI lifecycle through methods. I don't know, like we know algorithms, we know how to audit them. We know, like, if we do the design, like business design, not the concrete design of graphical design and so on, but inclusive one, prepare people so to spread the knowledge and so on. And also, model also proposes the ongoing monitoring system for the ethical principles of the AI. Only like that we'll be able to ensure this quality and quantity at the same time.
I've been looking a little bit on your research, and you emphasize ethical considerations, including fairness, accountability.
Yeah, those one, yeah.
With that is like fast step principles. How does your framework particularly embed these ethical principles into the use of AI in an organization?
Well, you start with like, if you look at the immediate organizational benefits, by adapting the social technical model, it will be, well, like I said, once you prepare this in an ethical way, and then you are looking at the benefits for it, is that you will boost the morale from the people you're working with, and then it will be done in a transparent way to deploy the AI. This is the kind of immediate benefit. Then once you have this in place, people will more clearly understand what's going on, how this is going to happen, etc. And then you will have a way to have more personalized AI-driven services for higher or increased customer satisfaction, for that matter. After that, the natural way or the natural result out of it is that you are building the more improved organizational or corporate social responsibility, because then you will have the data-driven sustainability initiatives for that matter. By applying everything from the fast steps, you are building on, it's just getting better. Of course, there is a lot to be researched on, the thing is, actually, I'm trying to create something new in order for generations to come to be able to explore and add as the business models, new principles, new findings are developing, they will be able to put inside the framework and continuously improve it.
Super interesting. Considering the resistance is a common barrier in technology adoption, right?
Yeah.
How's your framework proposed to overcome organizational resistance or fear associated with the AI? Ensuring cultural adaptation and widespread acceptance.
Yeah, I mean, this social technical approach kind of reduces this resistance, as I said, by engaging employees at all levels, regardless, in the beginning. And then you offer them training, which iterates every single time. You also apply these collaborative decision-making processes. And also, which is found really important during my studies so far, is to clearly communicate on how machine learning and AI can enhance their roles, not threatens them. That's really important to mention. How AI will help them work every single day. Like, my practical idea, and I would really like to see it, because I'm situated in Norway, the Scandinavian model is really good to look at. through this lens of social technical, is that people first. You will the way you approach this, you create trust, you create buy-in, so to speak. People understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, I would like to see that my idea will add to the kind of initiative of 4 working days a week, but people will be able, with the help of AI, to have more time for their families and friends, and quality of life will be improved. On the other side, you will be able to deliver much more quantitatively and qualitatively on that side too, with the help of AI, with this growing knowledge and accessibility. But then again, you have to make sure that people understand how to use it and why they are using it all together.
One big challenge with AI systems is managing biases and ensuring fairness. Would your model address these challenges differently or than others?
Yeah, that's with every emerging technology or new concepts, or call it whatever you want, it's always something new challenge, new laws and regulations. Model I'm working with now, it promotes rigorous data governance, continuous bias auditing to include fairness, and also to include, as I said, like employees, include stakeholders, that's why stakeholder engagement among everything else. And then it proposes the participatory methods that will enable to surface the higher hidden biases early, in the early phase. You know how it goes with the project, like you don't see something coming up and then the scope creep grows. All of a sudden it's too big to handle, you need to redo, you need to use your time, etc. So by applying these participatory methods that will discover those biases early, regardless of what they are, it will ensure fairness, and it will reduce risks of unintended discrimination.
Your dissertation emphasizes the importance of continuously monitoring real-time feedback loops. Could you elaborate a little bit on how your framework enables this kind of like continuous learning and dynamic adaptability?
Yeah, this is where the both of two worlds are coming together when it comes to non-financial performance indicators and stakeholder engagement. Like we can take an example for the real-time feedback, how to enable agility. Like when people do stuff, they usually want to hear. You have like daily meetings or weekly meetings or follow-ups, so on. It will, within the real time, you can ask your companion, AI companion, to give you some feedback, how you're faring, how to see the results, and so on. It will then move towards the informed decision making. You won't make your decision based on, I think it will happen, but you will be able to say, okay, I know it will happen because of this and that. And then why transparency is important. You know now that this is a valid source, reliable source that you can depend on, and by that you will make an informed decision making. I mean, that I learned during the master studies. There are questions. Okay, how did you get here? This is also very important. So people are feeling safe within this framework with a Santa's little helper. And this will help organization respond more rapidly to those changing conditions, emerging issues. You can measure like dips in customer sentiment or employee engagement before they escalate. I mean, we now it's time to touch it on the level partner and the things you are doing. For you are the partial inspiration for this, Christian, so to speak. The like for you working with, like those sentiments, regardless of the stakeholders you're working with, is kind of important for you to discover in the early phase, so you can act accordingly. You can employ the technology, the great technology you're using right now. I have to say this for this type of business model. So you can ask like AI to monitor based on the inputs and you can add some other input if the model changes for some reason, and then it will be able to act more quickly, give you some advices beforehand, like predictive models. They can kind of say, okay, like in 2 months, it might happen this and that. And then you will be able to, okay, go through, decide on this, but you will, as a, like through your levelpartner.ai, you will be able to make a valid business decisions based on the model you're already using. I mean, successfully, I would say.
Yeah, we see some really interesting stuff here, right? So,
Thank you.
you know, the modern company now will most likely not even have to go into a back end of a system. You know,
No,
we will have a model that we speak to that knows everything and everyone within the organization, and it can tell you, you know, how the last phone call between two person, how it went down.
yes,
We followed our pitch script. If it was more dialogue than, you know, more monologue than dialogue, if the sentiment was positive or negative, if we did our objection handling the correct way, and kind of give us the next step to fix anything that might didn't turn out the way we wanted in that particular call, or just ask for a prediction for next quarter, or
yeah,
you know, dig
stuff
down.
like that.
Why did we have 20% less sales last month?
Yes,
And it will kind
yeah,
of be able to go through all the transcripts, all the financial data, all the non-financial indicators, and kind of give you an idea on what deferred from last period, or
yes.
you know,
And you will be able also to look at it in a different way after you apply new inputs, and then it will improve itself.
yes.
You know, this is the way I see it. Like, that's why transparency is important. So you can rely on this data, you know where it comes, what it does, and then you're making the right decision at the right time.
Yeah, and obviously we're very keen to see where this is going. You know, we have come a long step, but I'm sure with the help of your model and we're doing here, there is some really cool stuff to come too. So, you know, I feel like I'm grabbed of this wind of new technology that comes, and kind of have to find a little bit of distance to it too, because it's a lot of nice shiny objects now, and
It is, it's everything new.
yeah. It's good to have friends like you, Dejan, to be able to get this
Likewise.
to different points. You know, really appreciate you being available for these type of questions. You know, um,
Sure.
I'm keen to hear. You know, what obstacles or resistance do you anticipate the organization might face when adopting your model now, and how would the framework suggest, you know, overcoming these practical barriers?
Yeah. The thing here is that, as we discussed, like, it's getting clearer now, I hope, to everyone looking at this, or listening for that matter, is that engagement. That's why stakeholder engagement is one of the 4 key components for my research. You just make sure that you include everyone, simply put, at early phase. Once you land a decision, like in a responsible, I don't know, manager or whatever, then you are overcoming resistance, like on an organizational level, through clear communication, simply put, as clear as possible, as simple as possible. Once you get there, then it's a collaboration process. All together, being in Norway, you know, working from the Scandinavian model, dialogue is the most important thing here. This also gave me an idea how to approach this, so every voice will be heard. But that means also that AI will be able to gather those insights, as you also said, like, be able to see through the transcripts, documents, etc., etc., and then gather this and say, okay, listen, we discussed this last time. We are about to land a decision on this one based on all the inputs. And then you ensure that there is actually no resistance. People are working, you know, they are part of the solution. They are no longer on the other side of the table, so to speak. You know, they worked with you on that all together. Ideas were heard, etc. So you are overcoming by including early, making collaborative decision-making process, clearly communicating everything, and presenting, meaning transparency again, so they know once AI is there, it will help them, not the otherwise. They will not serve the machine. I know it kind of Terminator stuff. It's always mentioned there somewhere.
Dejan, I know your time is very precious. I just looking into the future.
Yeah.
What are the implications of your social technology AI framework here for organization and society at large? Like, how will this research might like reshape the conversation around the technology and the role in business growth in a ethical responsibility kind of matter?
Yeah, I mean, we have these challenges always, and continuous oversight for the ethical challenges for those, and includes data governance, includes those routines for the algorithms, etc., real-time transparency, and then the broader the framework. I wouldn't say my framework yet because I need to confirm that. The frame I'm working on is that I'm trying to promote a holistic integration of technology and human-centric principles. This means that the model positions businesses, organizations, call it what you like, in order to contribute positively to well-being, but on a social level first and foremost. The model or the framework tries to redefine technology as an empowering partner rather than something disruptive. It will foster ethical responsibility, again transparency, and it will have an inclusive growth on both organizational and social levels. So simply put, AI as a super powerful assistant, but you as the one in the driving seat. Simple as that. It will make your life better. It will make your life more efficient. You will have time more. As I said, like 4 working days will be really nice, but when you deliver your work, it will be way more quality, better quality with right amount of quantity, so to speak. So this is how I look at it, Christian. So I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm so grateful that you took the time to come speak with me, Dejan. I hope to have many more discussions like this with you.
Thank you very much for having me. It's really nice always talking to you and to see your ideas in development of the level partner. So I mean, it's really nice, and also the research is on LinkedIn for those who want to see it. I think somewhere here within the video, somewhere for the information, the link will be provided for those people to.
Amazing. Have an amazing day, Dejan. Thank you again for joining in, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.